we got when anime mentors make a legendary entrance. I'm expecting Yami from Black Clover to appear here. Maybe Kakashi? I don't know.
This video is sponsored by Space Leaper. More on it later.
Oh, him. Yeah. Gojo? Yeah.
The numbers don't lie. You've all spoken. You like those dynamic entry vids. So it's only natural that we move on to the next category of the list. Mentors join the fray in today's list as we'll go through what I think are the most legendary entrances made by anime mentors.
Minato.
Because while the protagonist gets a time to shine, we all know it's the mentor who gets most of the cool stuff from the get-go. So let's take a look at some of my favorite and most memorable anime mentor entrances.
I knew Yami's gonna be here. So of course One Piece.
Let's start with Rayleigh's entrance.
Of course One Piece, but I haven't watched it yet, so I couldn't say.
They sure sold this moment big time. Without everyone's just staring, helpless to stop Kizaru's attack, you know something's about to happen. The whole thing is obviously setting up for a big moment waiting to happen, and I'm glad it did. Seeing the camera follow Rayleigh soaring through the air as he interrupts Kizaru surely got people out of their seats. Makes you wonder how prime Rayleigh would have been. A pure nightmare to deal with, I'm sure.
Nah, one finger's crazy.
Before we move on to the next entry,
oh wait. So that's how you look when you was young.
Before we move on to the next entry, here's a game to be excited about. Introducing today's sponsor, youngster who gets on fun. Is now both on iOS. A fantastic world too far back for our next entry, courtesy of Tengen Uzui.
Oh, Tengen. Yo, that Demon Slayer last season was crazy. Last season, Demon Slayer was crazy.
Continued its role from the triumphant conquest of 2019, but it's still one of the biggest shonen out there and continued to impress with the masterclass in presentation. I could talk about the fights, the sound direction, and the animation the whole day, but we're here for badass entrances, and I think Tengen saving the group is a candidate that's short and sweet. The display of quick slashes that saved his wives, Zenitsu and Inosuke, was pure hype. Tengen's appearance in the arc's boss fight can count as another moment to add to this list, but I feel that this one was just more impactful. From the swift dispatching of enemies to the hype visual of him appearing from the smoke, this one seems to be the better choice. Most of the pillars had impactful entries into battle, but while some have a shade of coolness or mystery, I feel there's none as purely badass as Tengen's moments in Season 2.
Nah, he was hard.
Yami's entrance versus Veto is another legendary entrance. Ah, Yami. Just how badass can a mentor be?
Yami was a demon. I knew he was gonna be here, bro.
Badass energy as well as those edgy attacks and gruff attitude. A true mentor apt for a group like the
Black Clover needs to come back,
and he knows how to make a perfect entrance too. Just like when he finishes the job against Veto. The Black Balls have proven their worth, but the fight's not over. Thankfully, they have someone as powerful as Yami to finish it. On a personal note, I like how he has it in him to compliment his comrades. A great show of leadership from someone as powerful and high up as him. Even better is how this whole moment sets up a complete round courtesy of my favorite captain. While the Black Balls had their hands full against Veto, Yami easily destroys him in a matter of seconds. The squad is just as strong as their captain, and looking at Yami, we all know these young upstarts are in good hands.
Minato, bro, I swear, it feels like Yami already had a show, bro. That's how I feel when watching Black Clover. I swear to God.
Entrance in the war deserves a mention here.
Minato.
Talk about a time.
Bro, I remember this scene, bro. Sakura was so stupid for saying, "Who's that?" You see the name on the back.
Turner. Against the might of the Ten Tails, there's just no hope for the protagonist. Shikamaru can strategize all he wants, but everyone's combined might gets brushed aside by the Ten Tails attack. That is, until the legendary Minato arrives. And along with the entrance comes the disruption of the seemingly unstoppable attack. And of course, it's never a dull moment with Minato as the tension cools down for some short comedy. Just as you'd expect from someone so badass, yet so chill like Minato. Still, his heroic entry led the way for the Hokage to join the fray. And this is where everything changes. This is where the tide turns. And thanks to the spectacular entrance, everyone watching knows it. All Might shows why he's the beacon of hope in one of his earliest appearances.
All Might.
My Hero Academia's first season ended as well as we
Bruh, how can you not forget All Might, bro? Damn.
With our plucky students locked in the fight of their lives, struggling
He's what really got me into the show, bro.
for survival against the toughest challenge they've had to face so far. There's no shortage of drama, and there's a lot of tense moments. It all looked like it could go either way at one point, but the heroes could only hold out for so long. Eventually, the villains triumph, and it soon looks like all hope is lost. But as the saying goes, it's never over till it's over. And All Might comes out with one of the best saves in shonen anime. All Might's entrance really evokes that redeeming feeling of salvation. After the long struggle, the heroes can finally rest as their almighty savior has arrived. The speech about how light shines in darkness is nothing short of awesome, as is the beatdown he single-handedly delivers. The brightest heroes come out in the darkest of times, and All Might manifests that belief in this amazing entrance, one that caps off a great start to one of the biggest shonen series that we have right now. Izumi makes an entrance that we'll always remember. Izumi, for the little screen
Izumi is badass too.
she has, does make it all count, especially with dynamic entries like these. Knocking Sloth out like that's gotta count for something, right? Even Armstrong's face says it all. The subsequent fight is both exciting and funny as well, making this entry a prelude to such a memorable moment. It's both awesome to see Armstrong get another hallmark win under his belt, and it's quite funny that it's in the form of a team-up between two of the manliest characters in the show. She's already done this once, saving Ed from greed, but she does it again as we approach the endgame, and this
If I didn't tell you, I'm gonna tell you right now. Full Metal Alchemist in my top 10.
This moment,
Animes of all
featuring her
time.
coming with her husband, is even sweeter. Remember the moment when a call for Kenshin summoned someone else?
This is hard too, bro.
That same call did get help, but Yahiko got more than what he bargained for when it's Hiko who comes to help. Instead of getting Kenshin, it's the overpowered master.
This is such a good anime,
and look,
man.
Everyone's face says it all. The legendary Hiko Seijuro has descended to grace everyone with its presence. It doesn't have a lot of the big, modern techniques to artificially increase hype. However, for something done in the 90s, the anime team came out with something that has aged well. From the camera angles to the characters' reactions to the sheer badass pose Hiko had made with his legendary entrance. It's more than an apt prelude to the ass-kicking that's about to commence. Arrogant as he may sound, Hiko sure can back it up though, and he made sure to prove that with the one-sided stomp against the gigantic Fuji. Gojo enters the fray in a big way.
Ray. He has to be the swaggiest character in the show.
The Hanami fight is one of my personal highlights in Jujutsu Kaisen. It's got everything shonen fans would want from a show. Spectacular animation, fight choreography that's nothing short of amazing given the importance of the fight, and a lot of character building being done in the process. One thing that helps elevate this fight to be one of the best the series has to offer is how the fight progresses and how it ends. It's well paced, giving our characters their respective moments to shine. They get a lot of their moves in, and we see the fruits of Aoi and Yuji's bond. It also ends in what I feel is the best way it could have ended, with Gojo finally stepping in and wowing us with Hollow Purple. It's nice to see how Gojo retains his overpowered status this far into the season. He's truly a force to be reckoned with, and the fight ending the moment he comes in with his over-the-top technique further proves that point. Yay!
Oh my god.
Finishing up our list is
Hunter x Hunter. Top 5 animes of all time for me.
Dragon Dive. Is there a mentor entrance more spine-tingling and goosebump-inducing than this one? With how Zeno showed off this technique in his and Netero's entrance, I'd say that this moment is nothing but glorious. Seeing Dragon Dive wreck the palace and cause all hell to break loose is a surreal moment, but it's only preparing us for the amazing fights we've yet to see in the Chimera Antark. Netero is one of the most...
Netero was so cold, bro. Look at him.
It's only preparing us for the amazing fights we've yet to see in the Chimera Antark.
Bro, tell me one old person that was not cold in the anime, bro.
Netero is one of the most beloved mentors in the world of shonen anime, and someone like him deserves nothing less for an entrance. This marks the point where things get real in this arc, and there's no better prelude than something this eye-popping. These people know how to make a statement, and boy did they do so in one of the most legendary ways possible.
Yeah.
And those are my top mentor entrances.
Yeah, that's fire. That's top 10. I like this top 10 list. I love it. Hey man, if you like the video, make sure you like, share, subscribe, show love to the YG gang, and I'm out.